I think is really, really important. And I think it's one that folks don't um, really pay attention to when it comes down to apologizing. And that is, the difference between I'm sorry versus I apologize.
Mhm.
And there's a very good distinction between the two. So I'm sorry is tied more to you, right? It's how you feel, it's your emotion of how you feel about the situation. And, I apologize is really stating what you did or confirming or admitting something that you did to offend another. So
Taking accountability for it.
taking accountability for it, So, like, for instance, if you say something like, um, you know, I'm sorry you feel that way. I mean, are you really apologizing for something that was said or done? Or are
No.
you just expressing your emotion or your feeling that, honestly, I don't really care that happened to
Yeah.
you, and I don't care that you feel that way. Right?
Yeah, that's some passive aggressive stuff right there.
Yeah. But we don't think about it, right? Because I'm sorry is just something that we say almost automatically,
Yeah.
right? When a
It's
situation
reflexive.
happens. Yeah, it is. It is very reflexive. Because if you bump into somebody on the street, this is, oh man, I'm sorry, right? But that's not really a deep rooted apology. It's really more about how you feel. It's more about your emotion than it is about the other person.
And I like how you framed that, where you tied I'm sorry to our emotional state about how we feel, because one of the things that we can always hide behind is our feelings. Our feelings act like this facade or this a shield of sorts where we can say, well, you can't tell me how to feel. You can't invalidate my feelings, just like we can't invalidate somebody else's feelings. So it's a nice warm security blanket that doesn't cost us anything to kind of throw it out, because we're making a statement of feeling rather than taking ownership of wrongdoing.
Absolutely. And so conversely, when you apologize, at least in my mind, when you apologize and mean it, let's be real with that part. When you apologize and mean it, I think it's something that you have internalized, that you recognize that you have done something to offend someone else, and you truly want to, make amends. So instead of I'm sorry you feel that way, it's like, hey, I know I did whatever this thing is that I did, and I know that it affected you this way or that. Um, and I know that it affected you emotionally, but it may have also affected something that you were intended to do. So if if I'm supposed to pick you up to take you to the airport and you need to be there by 6 and I don't get to your house till 6, well, that's a real problem, right? So, hey, I'm sorry that I was that late. I know I was supposed to have you here by 6, and um, you know, what can I do to make it up to you? That kind of thing. But then me being me, if I'm supposed to be at the airport at 6 and you're not there by a certain time, I'm probably catching an Uber. But my point is, if you make that type of a commitment and you don't follow through the way that you should follow through, it really is impactful to the other person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we've alluded to it before, that whole notion of, we should do what we say we will do. And when we fall short of that, we've got to be able to, be grown enough, as the old folks would say, oh, you think you grown. We got to be grown enough to own that and admit when we've made a mistake or admit when we've come up short, rather than trying to explain it away.